Hello. No one's asked for this, but here's my little video on Men I Trust's Offertorio. This is an arrangement of a Catholic liturgical poem, Offertory. And I think it's a great way to justify talking about four-part chorale writing and voice leading. I know, very exciting. But stick with me here. Even if this stuff might seem boring, it's relevant for the same reasons that any classical theory is relevant. All the building blocks of modern Western music theory can be found here, and it's at least a great way to just sharpen your theory skills. So, disclaimer, I'm no expert on any of this stuff. I'm just a casual music enjoyer who took like one music theory class and likes to learn stuff. I've probably omitted things and made mistakes here, but I think I'm getting most of the things right enough. So let's just hop into this. I'll run through this song and comment on things as we go. So it's kind of like a primer or intro to four-part voice leading. So generally speaking, three fundamental parts of four-part writing are that one, each voice is a chord tone, unless it's a suspension or passing tone. Two, voices try to move as little as possible from chord to chord. And three, voices never cross ranges, so a tenor will never play above an alto, or sing, I guess. So starting from our bass right here, we have our root, 3, 5, just starting on our one chord, our B flat. So now this D in the root chromatically passes us to our 4 chord, an E flat major 7. And our voicing is root, 3, 5, 7. Notice our B flat and D are common tones with our 1 chord here. They're the 5th and 7th of E flat major 7, but the root and 3rd of B flat. This is voice leading, and it happens throughout the song. If I commented on every time it happened, we'd be here for like an hour. So now our 7th walks stepwise down to hit the C, which you might notice is the 5th of our next chord, this F. So this makes the chord movement a lot smoother than if we just played the 2 chords. So E flat and then F. Now let's try with that C. So we're on our F here, starting the chord only with our roots and 5ths being played. This kind of creates a resolved sort of sound before we hit our defining 3rd and 7th, our leading tones, to get that dominant sound. And the reason I call these leading tones is that they're both a half step away from chord tones back in our 1 chord. So this E flat will go to a D, and then our A will go to a B flat. From here, we're going to go to this B flat over E flat, which effectively functions as a suspension for this upcoming 2-5-1. So in the second half of this bar, we're already playing all the notes of our 2 chord, or C minor. Our bass arpeggiates up the chord tones to get us to that root position, and then we have a textbook 2-5-1 with our C and E flat as our common tones. Our tenor voice moves stepwise to hit the 3rd of our F7, the A, and the bass goes to the root note. There's our F7. And now we end our cadence with this really nice B flat suspension. So our soprano is going to be a 4-3 suspension, our alto is going to be a 2-1 suspension, and then our tenor is just going down to the 5th. Moving along here, we have a new phrase starting on our 1 chord again, our B flat. This time our bass walks down to the 6th scale degree, turning our chord into a G minor 7. B flat major has all the same notes as G minor 7, so we just keep all those voices. Now we go to this dominant 3 chord in first inversion, our D7. Our root, our D, and our 7th, our C fill in the chord as we resolve to our expected G minor, with a very similar suspension to that B flat from 3 bars ago. So a 4-3 in the soprano, a 2-1 in the alto, and then our tenor voice just goes down to the 5th. Now our next 2 bars is just another easy 2-5-1 with our C minor 7 closed voicing here, and then our F7 with our bass walking stepwise up to our B flat and our tenor hitting the 3rd a beat before. All right, this part is fun. We have some secondary dominant stuff going on. So we start on our 4 chord E flat. Then our tenor and soprano move to an E natural and C, the 3rd and the root of C dominant. This C dominant, as we expect, resolves to an F, and we play this sequence again a whole step up. So this F goes to a D7. This sequence could continue indefinitely, but obviously we stop at the key of our song. Back to G minor. Now we go to our dominant third back and resolve to our G minor. All right, for this last section, because we have a lot of chords here, let's take a look at the top 3 voices by themselves. It's really interesting to see how these lines don't really do much on their own and how small of a range they have. So first, our soprano, or technically more accurately mezzo-soprano in this song, plays an E flat, which is the 3rd of C minor and the 7th of F7. Then we go to a D, the root of D minor. Then we go back to the E flat, the root of E flat major. Then we stay on the E flat for the flat 5th of A minor 7 flat 5. Then we go back to the D, the root of D7. Then we stay on the D as it's the 5th of G minor, and we stay on it for the 7th of E flat major 7. Then we go back to the E flat for the 3rd of C minor, and then back to D, the root of D7. Then we go to C, the 7th of D7. Then we go to B flat, the 3rd of G minor. So the total range of the voices line here was just this B flat to this E flat, 4 notes. Now our alto voice, we start on the B flat, this 7th of C minor, then an A, the 3rd of F7, then we stay on the A for the 5th of D minor, then we go back to the B flat for the 5th of E flat major, then up to a C for the 3rd of A minor 7 flat 5, and then we stay there for the 7th of D7. Then we go back to the B flat for the 3rd of G minor, and it's also the 5th of E flat major 7. Then we go to C, the root of C minor, then A, the 5th of D7, and finally G, doubling the root of that G minor. So again, the range here is just 4 notes, this G to the C. Finally, our tenor voice starts on a G, the 5th of C minor, then we go to the F, the root of F7, then it stays on the F for the 3rd of D minor, and then we go to the G, the 3rd of E flat major, then we stay on the G for the 7th of A minor 7 flat 5, then we go to the F sharp, 3rd of D7, then back to the G, which is the root of G minor, then it becomes the 3rd of E flat major 7, and then it becomes the 5th of C minor, and then we go to F sharp for the 3rd of D7, then finally D for the 5th of G minor. So this range is just this D and then these 3 chromatic notes, this F sharp, and G. Here's the section all together. And we finish here with our 2-5-1, our C minor, our F7, and then to our 1, a B flat with a 4-3 suspension, our tenor voice. So yeah, that's pretty much it. There's a bunch of stuff I didn't mention, like types of cadences, figured bass, types of note movements, types of bass movement, but I hope you learned something from this and or are inspired to learn more.